teachers. My name is Lena, and today I want to talk to you about some of the companies that I work for. I want to give you a comparison of some of the companies I work for that are very good companies out there. They pay higher than many other companies, and they're just good companies to work for. So let me give you some details about these companies that I love. Qkids is the first company I'll talk about. They will offer you $8 as a base pay, and then on top of that you can get $1 for attendance. That's if you're on time to your classes, and if you don't have a lot of cancellations, you can get $1 for on top of your base pay, and then also $1 more if you have a certain number of classes each week. That's 15 classes each week. Then you can get the additional $1. So you have a potential of making $10 an hour with Qkids. You can also have peak time hour classes with them. They only have peak time hours. So that would be starting at, for me, I live in Central Standard Time, so that would be 4:30 in the morning and ending at 7 a.m. And then they also have weekend hours. On the weekend, you can work same times in the morning, but they also have evening hours too. So they have 5 classes that you can teach in the evening on Fridays and Saturdays. And then they are a company that books for you. So once you get hired, they just give you your classes, and you don't have to worry about making a whole profile page and selling your parents so that they want to book you. So they just book for you. So that's a real nice thing. And they have a really good cancellation policy. If you really can't make a class for some reason, they're very flexible, and they give you up to 5 hours to cancel without any penalty. And then if you have to cancel within those 5 hours, then they say it's an absence. They'll give you an absence, but it won't count against you right away unless you get too many. And then obviously with all of us, we can get terminated. So you don't want to do that. But they're very flexible with their cancellation policies, or if you just are late to a class, their staff is very forgiving and flexible. And their classes are so fun. I love their curriculum. I love their platform. It's like you're playing video games, but you're teaching children. And then you would teach more than one child. They have a 1-on-4 class model, so you can teach up to 4 children at a time in one class. And it's fine. You get the hang of it. It's actually fun to have more than one student, because then kind of takes the pressure off of that one child, and the other children can observe each other and how they're talking and interacting with the teacher. So it's good. Gogokid. Gogokid, there's an average of about $9 an hour to about $10 an hour per class. I'm sorry, not an hour, per class as a base pay. Same with Qkids, it was $8 an hour, $8 per class as a base pay, not per hour. So for Gogokid, you would have a $9 base pay, or up to $10. They would give the $10 base pay a little bit more frequently at the beginning, but now you have to have a certain degree in order to get the $10 an hour. They don't give that one out so often. So it's about an average of $9.50 an hour per class. Sorry. And then you would get, you have your incentives, which it comes in a credit score. So you can get 125% on top of that $9.50 or $10 an hour as your incentive. So for some, if you have $9.50, that would be $11.75 per class that you could teach. And that's, if you keep your credit score up. If your credit score is not up, then you won't get that 125%, and you might get 110% or just 100%, which isn't bad. It's still pretty good, compared to many companies out there. And then this is a company that parents book you. So that is a good thing in that you have many more hours. It's not just peak time hours. You can teach all morning and all evening. For us that are living in America, that's where I'm at. So I'm basing everything off of that. So I could teach all morning and all evening. And then for the students who are in China, they just need that time when they're sleeping. They're not going to have any classes that are booked during that time. So, but outside of that time, you could have many more hours. So, but the parents book you, so you have to make a profile page, and you have to make sure that you are getting good reviews so that other parents can see that you're getting reviews, and they will want to book you. So that's how that works if a parent is going to book you and the company doesn't. You kind of have to sell yourself. And then they do have some feedback. You do have to have written feedback when you teach for Gogokid, and you know, it's not time consuming at all, but you do have to make sure that you do that in order to get all your full pay. If you don't, then you are penalized. So you want to remember to do that. And then they have very interactive classes. Their classes are not just, you know, pages, that pictures that you're looking at and reading. You're actually, the kids are actually doing fun things. They're able to click on things and see different things happen on the page. So it's very helpful to help keep the child just interested and alert in your classroom. So, and then, but their model is one-on-one. So that means you only have one student in your class. You won't have, you know, up to 4 students in your class. And they have great bonuses. I love Gogokids bonuses because it's cash bonuses when they give you bonuses. They give you, you know, sometimes you get $10, you know, for having a certain number of classes open, or you might get $30 for having a certain number of classes open, or more. Sometimes they have $100 for, you know, certain bonuses, but you know, it might only go to a certain number of teachers too. But still, they give you cash, and it's not, you know, added up as coins or, you know, any other type of, you know, token. It is money. So that is a good thing about Gogokids. They have great bonuses. And then there's Magic Ears. Magic Ears also, they are a company that will book for you, just like Qkids. That means the company will give you your classes. You don't have to worry about making a profile page and opening up slots. You just give them your schedule, and then they will schedule you based upon what your schedule is. And the base pay is about $9 an hour. And then you can get more incentives on top of that for being on time and having a certain number of classes open, or slots open and taught. So Magic Ears, the nice thing about them is that with every contract, you could actually rank up and get a higher pay. So they do have flexibility in that. And, you know, for some people who get up to the highest pay, you can get a whole dollar more per hour if you rank up and reach that full potential. So it is nice to know that you have movement in the company and, you know, make even more money. So also, you do have to do feedback, but their feedback is verbal. So it's not, you don't have to type it out. You simply just say it and it's recorded, and then the student will listen to it. So that's kind of neat. You don't have to type the feedback for each of the children. You just say whatever it is that you want to communicate to the student about the class, and you're done. So that's nice, especially if you don't type very fast. And their class model is 1 to 4 students. So you can have up to 4 students in your class at a time. And they also have a very interactive platform. It is their classes are very fun, and the children can write on the screen and, you know, click on things, and it is helpful to keep them engaged. And something that I do appreciate about Magic Ears is they keep you informed on things that you need to improve on as a teacher. And I like this because I want to know what I need to work on, what I need to do to be better. For me, that works. It doesn't work for everyone, but I like that. So that is something that you have as a bonus as a company. They will give you feedback on what it is that they would like to see you do better and work at, and they also will give you feedback on what it is that you do great. So it works both ways, but you know, you're going to get some feedback with Magic Ears. VIPKID is another company that I work for, and it is a base pay of $8 an hour, and you do have bonuses. You can make up to $2 an hour more on your incentives, I should say. Parents do book you, so that means you have to have a profile page and sell yourself as a teacher and make sure you get many good reviews from other parents. And you do have to do written feedback with them, or otherwise you get penalized if you don't, just like Magic Ears too. I didn't state before that Magic Ears will penalize you if you don't get your feedback in on time. So do your feedback. And also they have a 24-hour cancellation policy. So if you need to cancel, you should do so before 24 hours so that you have limited or minimal penalty. If you wait too long and if you don't show to a class, then you can have to you're penalized for that. So you don't want to have that done. So just make sure you cancel 24 hours in advance. And their class model is one-on-one, so you only have one student at a time. And you can teach non-peak hours. It's peak time and non-peak time hours too. So the only times you cannot teach is when the students are sleeping. So you can open up your slots and hope that the parents will book you for whatever time you want. And it takes some time for these companies where you have to wait for the parents to book you. It does take time to work up. Some people, they open up slots and they're booked right away and they have a full schedule. Other people have to kind of work at it and wait, until they get a little bit more reviews. And you really don't know why it happens. It just happens that way sometimes. So just don't expect to get bookings right away. You just have to kind of gradually work up, and then if you eventually you can have classes opened up all morning if you want. But for the beginning, I would just expect to open up your peak time hours and make sure you teach a few classes and get some reviews, and then it'll be easier to get more classes booked for outside of the peak time hours, because those classes are not easy to book when you first start out. And then the nice thing about VIPKids too is that they have so many type of classes to teach. It's not just your standard curriculum classes. You have classes that offer free talk. You have classes that have singing, where you're singing a lesson. I've never taught one, so I don't know exactly what it is, but it's called Voice VIP, so you can sing more of the lesson. It's more of a fun way to do things. And then you have other classes where it's actually you're teaching to a room, or you're teaching several students at a time. And I don't know a whole lot about all these classes because I haven't taught them, but when you open up the platform, you can see that you can, as you teach more classes, you are allowed to teach even more and more. You are eligible to teach more and more different types of classes. So that's something to look forward to, and it helps to make your schedule more full too. And they have a great coaching and great coaching system or options, and they have a lot of workshops that you could participate into, as well as most of these companies. Gogokids have workshops you could participate in, and so does Magic Years. Qkids, they have several training videos that you can watch, but they don't have the one-on-one or like the actual person coaching you outside of the coaching time that you get when you first sign on as a teacher. So these are great companies to work for. I worked for all four of them. If you want any feedback or questions answered about any of these companies, I would be more than happy to help you out. I have my links also for my referral links. If you want to go ahead and sign up for those companies, those links are down below, so go ahead and use those. But I would not mind helping you, walking you through the process so you can know what to do and practice, or if you have a question about the curriculum or anything, I could help you out. But those are four wonderful companies. I hope that this was helpful, and thanks for watching my video. Bye.